Hey guys, Upstander, and today I'm making the Spiritual Mages Guide, highly requested by you guys, especially after that back-to-back Dragon Boot Drop video, which you can check out. So to kill Spiritual Mages, you need one thing: you need 83 Slayer. It's also you need the Death Plateau quest done, and it's also recommended you've Edgar's Ruse done. That gives you the access to the Trollheim teleport. Now, why would you kill Spiritual Mages? There's two main reasons: for money and XP. They drop Dragon Boots, of course, that's the premier drop, and that's worth about 400k, and it's a 1 out of 100 drop, which is not rare at all. And you can also kill them very quickly. And because you can kill them very quickly, they're very good combat XP. You can go there and train melee, you'll get XP very quickly. You can also kill them with range, and the XP is very good for that as well. So really just great monster to kill. 83 Slayer, it's a tough requirement, most people don't have it, but it's certainly worth getting, and on the way to 83 Slayer, you'll get a ton of combat XP as well. I'm almost 109 combat. I'm almost 110 combat just from getting 85. Most people get 85 or even 90 just so they can kill abyssal demons or dark beasts. So there's two main ways, as I mentioned, that you can kill them: with melee or ranged. You really can't kill them with mage. So in terms of a melee setup, here's what you're looking at. You need at least one Zamrak item. I use the Unholy Book filled with all 4 pages. You can also, if you want to use a Rune Defender, which is a little bit faster kills, you can get a Zamrak Robe Legs, and then you're free to use the Rune Defender because this will count as your Zamrak item. So that's about it for melee. You want to make sure you maximize prayer bonus. The Proselyte top is the best for prayer. You don't need to wear the Proselyte legs. You can just wear monk robes because they actually give the same prayer bonus as monk robes, the Proselyte legs. A Fury is good if you have it. If you don't have it, you can bring a Glory and just save up for a Fury. A Natiznot is a very good helmet to have here. It gives +3 prayer and +3 strength, and it gives no negative bonuses. So just really one of the best overall helms in the game. It doesn't have as much defense as Burrows, but you don't need defense here. A Fire Cape is good. There's no Nomad Cape or anything like that, so Fire Cape's your best bet for mages, for melee. A Whip, Dragon Scimitar or Sarah Sword is your best bet as a weapon. A God Sword is really not a good idea other than a Sarah God Sword for its spec. God Swords are much slower than a Whip, even if they are a little bit faster than most 2-age swords. So I don't recommend a God Sword other than for a special attack. Burrows Gloves are really essential. They give +12 strike bonus, which is going to speed up your kills tremendously. Dragon Boots, of course, is the best. I've been selling all my Dragon Boots. I made about 10 mil in 15 Dragon Boot drops since the God Wars came out to 07. But if you don't have Dragon Boots, as I do like a noob, you can wear climbing boots, and you can just wear your first pair of Dragon Boots. I think the only requirement to wear them is 60 defense. I use a Ring of Life. If you can afford a Berserker Ring, I'd recommend you grab that. Ring of Wealth isn't going to help you here with Dragon Boot drops. It'll just make it so you get more like gems and crap like that. But you can die occasionally if your prayer drops and you're not paying attention. But as long as you're paying a little bit of attention, you shouldn't be dying. So this is about it for melee. Let me show you what you need for range. So for fast kills, this is a really good setup, the Crystal Bow. And this is imbued, which you can do very cheaply at the Nightmare Zone, which makes it so that when it degrades, it still is going to keep its full range bonus of +100, I think it is, yeah. And this thing also has a very high range strength, especially now that with this new Nightmare Zone update, it's one of the best bows in the game. But if you don't have a crystal bow, you can also use a rune crossbow, and the advantage to that is that you'll also have the Zami book, so you can have more prayer bonus. If you don't have this, you can swap it out with a Guthix book, although you'll need something like this for a Zamrak item. As long as you have one Zamrak item, you're covered. In terms of bolts, Mithril bolts or Addy bolts work well and are reasonably priced. You also want an Ava's accumulator. As you can see here, this will pick up all your bolts. Nate's is not as recommended because it gives no negative range bonus, and it still gives a +3 prayer. Also, Snakeskin Boots. As you see here, these give a little bit of range bonus, and they're reasonably priced. As they're not like Ranger Boots where they're like, 5 mil and just a little bit higher range bonus. So I really don't recommend you waste your money on Ranger Boots. You can wear Monk's Robes because you really don't need the accuracy that you would get from D'hide. I suppose you could use Void, but the problem with Void is it doesn't give prayer bonus. So it's not particularly recommended, but it could work if you maximize your prayer bonus on other areas, although there's not much. So this is a great setup for range. Again, you can swap it with this, and this would work just as well, if not better. And range is really an effective method to kill them, just like melee, because they have almost no defense. Their defense level is thought to be around 1. It's very rare that you'll hit a 0 on spiritual mages. So the only really levels that are important is your prayer level. You want to have at least 43, which if you're 83 Slayer you should have, so you can pray magic. Also, you want to have a high strength level, because that just means faster kills. I mean, if you don't have a high strength level, you can train strength at mages. And also a higher range level is obviously faster kills, but if you don't have high levels in that, you can obviously train them here. Attack and defense are not going to really help you here because accuracy isn't a problem, and you're going to be praying, so defense isn't an issue as well. So let's take a look at how you actually get there. You of course need 70 HP to enter the Zamrak stronghold, which is the best place to kill them, and you also need 60 HP, or 60 strength, or 60 agility to actually enter the Gawa's. Another recommended item real quick is the Holy Wrench. It makes it so that every time you drink a dose of prayer potion, you get an extra point or 2 of prayer points. It doesn't give you as much prayer points as you would get from just bringing another prayer potion, but the extra prayer points is really nice, and it could save you quite a bit of money in the long run. So you can buy a Trollheim tab or actually make one from the Nightmare Zone, but I prefer to use runes because they're much cheaper. And there's a little trick I'll show you so you can actually bring the most... Oh, fuck. God damn it. Hold on. What's nice about the Gawar's dungeon, by the way, is that there is no random events. So if you see someone alking, they're probably a bot and you can report them. Okay, once you're done with all your random events, to maximize the amount of prayer potions that you bring, you can teleport, but make sure you bring 4 of each runes. Drop 2 prayer potions here and then teleport back. I recommend using your Ring of Dueling. It's the most convenient. Teleport back to Castle Wars. Then you put the ring back in the bank. And you grab 2 more prayer potions. By the way, that cash stack that's almost 10 mil, that's made pretty much exclusively from spiritual mages. Like I said, they're a very consistent, safe money-making method that you're really not going to lose money. Careful dropping them around here. They can get like hidden under this rock, but you can get on the mini-map, you can see the red dot. So you pretty much just run down here. There's also one trick I'll show you guys if you have a Saradomin item. It's not a requirement here, but if you do have a Saradomin item, you can get a few extra kills. Make sure you're above 70 HP, preferably full HP, because if you don't have 70 HP, you're going to actually not be able to cross into the Zamrak stronghold. Make sure you pray range here so you don't take any damage. Now the monk robes do not count as a Saradomin item yet. There's a poll coming out soon which will actually feature that as a question. They were updated later to be a Saradomin item. Make sure you run as fast as possible there, because you're going to lose your run energy pretty quickly, and you can actually get a bit of distance, and see, like, you can kind of like glitch it a little bit like that. Like, you can get 1% for a second. So if you don't have a Saradomin item, I'm just bringing one for demonstration. Pray mage when you get down here. So like I said, if you don't have a Saradomin item, skip this step and run north and go across there. But if you have one, including if monk robes count as one someday, you're going to lose all your prayer points when you cross that bridge over there, so you might as well just use them by killing spiritual mages. What's really odd is that they are glitched. When NPCs attack each other in the Gawar's dungeon right now, they use the wrong animations. Look, they're just punching. Look at that. The warrior he has a big sword and he's just punching, and the mage is punching as well. It seems to only happen when they're fighting other NPCs. But so like I said, you can even turn piety on, get a few kills here, and until your prayer is at 0. And if you don't have a Saradomin item, don't worry, this step is not essential. Look how messed up that is. He's just punching. They really ought to fix that. Also, keep in mind if your Slayer level gets hit down a few levels because of the snow, you can turn on Rapid Restore and quickly get it back to 85, or 83 at least, which is what you need. So once you're out of prayer points, I left a few just for demonstration. You can cross this bridge, and you'll lose all your prayer. So basically the point of killing some over there was, I had 70 prayer points to begin with, might as well use them. But for the most part, you're going to be killing them in here. The annoying thing about this place is that it's very dark. It gets darker the farther you go, and it gets even darker in the boss room. There's a couple, now it's pretty straightforward, like some people said, well, why do you even need a guide for this? You just go and kill them. But there is a lot of things with gear and different tricks I can show you guys that help. Make sure you pot up here. So most people kill them pretty much just like this. They turn on Prey Mage, and they just kill them. You know, you can drink your super attack and strength. I recommend you repot when you're only a few levels above your base level. But there's two other things that could factor into the equation. The first is, do you want to use piety? Piety will speed up your kills about 25%. Shit, careful not to attack the other ones. By the way, you also should pick up pretty much all the runes they drop, other than, like, you know, dumb runes like fire runes or something like that. Most runes, like nature runes, death runes, and like they drop pure essence, you can pick it up and they'll add up quite a bit. But piety is definitely something to consider. I haven't been using piety because it drains your prayer extremely fast. It is the most draining prayer in all of RuneScape ever, even including the new prayers in EOC and like Turmoil and all that. Piety drains your prayer at an incredible rate, and even with plus 28 prayer bonus, it's still going down pretty quickly. However, it does mean faster kills, and it means faster XP, and it actually, because you're getting faster kills, it is more profitable to use piety. So technically you should, but it's just kind of annoying to do so. The other thing you can do is Prey Flash, like this. You basically have your prayer on, but when they raise their arms, you can turn your prayer off for a second, and if you time it right, you won't lose any prayer points. And you could actually stay here pretty much almost forever, basically. Or really, yeah, forever. Obviously, you'll run out of super sets, and you might lose inventory space, so it's still very good, though. The disadvantage to doing this is that you constantly have to be looking at the screen. You know, because every time they raise their arms, you've got to turn prayer off for a second. So if you want to watch, like, if you mess up like that, you get hit. You know, you can get it pretty consistently, though. But, like, if you want to be watching YouTube videos or something, it's going to be hard to do that while you're prayer flashing. But, like, if you want to listen to, like, radio or something like that, something where you just listen, or listen to music, this is very doable. See, like, I'm not messing it up at all, and I'm getting kills without using any prayer points at all. So it's definitely something to consider. My favorite is just to use no piety and not prayer flash, which is kind of like the easy way. But you know, those other methods are definitely something to consider. You can also mix it up, like you might do a trip with piety, and then do a trip without piety, and then do a trip with prayer flashing. It's all kind of up to you. So that's like it for basically killing them. You'll get a boot drop around 1 out of 100 times, which is pretty common because you can get it usually around 100 kills per hour if you're killing them very quickly with piety.